basketball. If this is your first time, man, please do me a huge favor. Share this out, like it, tag a hooper. Everything you need to know about the overseas basketball life, this is the place to be. With that, getting started, getting your mind right, getting your finances right, everything about the life of overseas basketball. ATP Network, everything overseas basketball. Glad to have you guys back, man. Now listen, life be life in. Life be life in. That's all I can say. That's all I can say right now. Life be life in. And I am extremely, what is going on with my thing? With my camera. Camera just turning on its own. I didn't do that. It's just doing it on its own. Don't you hate when things just decide to act up? Like, what am I supposed to do about that? Relax yourself, boy. I gotta go back to my Haitian accent just to get things to act right. But today we're gonna be going over money mysteries athletes are unaware of. You know, we always like to talk about the finances. We like to talk about the finances of the things that people are unaware of that you should know when it comes to this game. Things that you should know, things that's gonna help you, things that's gonna help your game by helping your pockets. You help your pockets, you help your game. You don't think about your money, you can think about your game. You don't got time to focus on all the other craziness of being, I got bills I gotta worry about, I got this, I gotta go work here. Let's focus on these things so we don't have to be in this situation. And I speak from a point of an athlete who's been through it, through all that, from playing 9 years and having $100 in my pocket. This is real facts. This is not jokes. This is not me trying to scheme or anything like this. This is just how it is. That's why I come on here and talk about it. And before we get started on the topic, I just want to say, one, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be able to speak my mind and speak on what I feel, because things happen in life sometimes that you're just not able to control or handle, and things that you need to manage. And then for me, managing my health was big for me, and I didn't realize that because I made a decision to change my life. Made a decision to change my life. And I remember when I made that decision, I just remember it's like once you make a real decision, your body and your mind and everything is coincide together, and it comes together, and it's like, wow, he's not playing. He is serious. It's an amazing feeling, and it's a crazy transition, And I don't know if you guys can see on the side of my face, it's just like completely broken out, because once I made that decision, my body went into shock. It literally went into shock. And I got the nerve on the side of my face was so stressed out that my whole face broke out from the top of my head to the bottom of my mouth. It started from the bottom of my mouth, moved all the way to the entire nerve. There's three nerves. I learned this. Three nerves inside of your face. One right here that goes to the jaw, one that goes here, and one goes up to the top of your head. All of them were affected, and it was so stressed out that it caused me to just break out and have excruciating pain. I think it's called shingles. It's something in your body. If you have chicken pox before, it lies dormant in your system, and when you have overwhelming stress, this happens. And I didn't know that. One decision caused so much stress in my body that it caused a reaction, because my body couldn't handle the decision. But the body does not control me. I control the body, I control the spirit, I control my life by the decisions that we make. It's all about the decisions that we make that will ultimately decide where we go in life and what we do. Choose your decisions, regardless of what anybody says, regardless of how your body reacts. Be aligned with your soul. Be aligned with what is inside of you that's telling you what is right for you. Don't let anybody or anything dictate or try to throw you off, because you will get through it. It's just a little bit of adversity. Welcome it, appreciate it, feel it, enjoy it, because that's growth. That is the definition of growth. So with that being said, let's get into some of the things. Some of the mysteries that athletes are unaware of. One, your contract is not your income. Most athletes think I made 100K means I earned 100K. No. Taxes, agent fees, housing, relocation, training, family support can chop into that number real fast. If you're getting paid $4,000 or $5,000 a month, $3,000 a month, that's not what you're actually making. Because there are other things that you have to take care of in your life that's going to cut into those profits. You have to be aware of what cuts into your profits, because that's a real thing. What cuts into your profits a lot of the times is just life. That's why money management is so important. I was recently speaking to one of my teammates, and we were just talking about money. Because one of my teammates asked me about Bitcoin. I said, is now the time to buy Bitcoin? And I was like, yes, now is the time to buy Bitcoin. This is one thing I'll go in. That'll be the next topic, or the next statement that I'll talk about. But I was just telling him, I was like, he was just talking about, I don't know nothing about investing. I don't know nothing about what do with money. And I was like, listen, you've been playing basketball over 10 years, 15 years. You got that down pat. When it's done, what are you going to do? You already got that. You breathe basketball. You know how to do it. It's nothing. Now is the time to focus on something else that brings you the income of what basketball does. This is the time to focus on that. This is the time you focus on other things that bring in income. And one of the main important things that you need to focus on is money management. That is one of the things that athletes are very, very unaware of. And I can't even speak on just say athletes. People in general do not understand money management. Money management is what will take you further. It is what is going to accelerate your life. It's what is going to allow you to get ahead in life in general. Athletes focus so much on your performance, but not your plan of life in your finances. Before I get into where you got to do to look and add into your finance, you have to understand how to manage your money. What's the game plan? I love to talk about that all the time, and I keep saying it. I need to write that book, Money Management for Overseas Basketball Players. But the main thing I told them, I was like, you go into every practice. You go into practice, you got a game plan. You never go into practice without coach having a game plan for you. You go into the game, you have a game plan. Hard hedge, zipper, these are all part of the game plan. Force him left, drop coverage. These are all a part of the plan to succeed. Game by game, day by day, regardless of the outcome of what we do, you have a game plan. To what? To be successful. It is the equivalent of your money. What is your game plan for your money? If you don't have a game plan for your money, it will not be successful. And this is spoken from experience. I'm not saying that, I have $1 million to play with. I know over my career I've made over $500,000, probably creeping up, I don't know, maybe in the stint of my career, I'll probably touch $1 million. Never know. Probably more, 2, 3. Just depending on how the end of my career. If I can get to Asia, get a couple $20,000, $30,000 gigs, hey, I can get me probably 2 M's in my career. I got about 4 or 5 years left in me. You never know, maybe even more. I'll ride it out as long as I can and just collect this bag, this free cheese, because like I said, once you get to a certain point, you breathe and eat basketball. You don't have to think about it. You wake up, basketball. You just know it. It's just a part of life. It's just an instant habit. But if you don't have a plan for your money, it's going to slowly No, actually, very rapidly leave you. You must have a game plan for your money, you know? And he was like, I have no idea what to do, what to look, what to search for. And it's very common. Have a game plan for your money. Have a game plan for your money. Moving on. Your prime years are shorter than your prime playing years. Let me rephrase that. Your prime earning years are shorter than your prime playing years. You might still be good enough to play, but teams might stop paying you like you're valuable. The money window closes early. Meaning there's going to be a point where you're earning a lot of money at one time. You might have a good 2-3 year stint, if you're lucky, 4 or 5, where you're at your cap capacity of earning. Your capacity of earning, meaning like there's going to be a point where you're earning, let's use an example. Players earning 2-3 thousand for maybe 2-3 years, plays well, win a couple championships, teams noticing you, you move up, you're earning 6-7 thousand for like 2-3 seasons. You might catch 12,000, 11,000 for a shorter stint. You might do that for about 3-4 years. As you get older, might have one regular season. Teams might not want to pay you 12,000 no more. Now the contract drops to, well, we'll give you 6. We'll give you 4. We'll give you 5, you know. Good money still, but it's not as the cap like you were making 12. You might even get in a situation, because it's all about situations. You're getting 25, 30. Catch a 25, 30. I got a homeboy that was earning, he told me his trajectory. He was earning 3, played well, got in the right situation, right time, right team, got seen by the right people, went from 3 to 6, then 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 15, 12, then it went back to 12. Then he caught a 30 ball. I don't know what he knows, but I know he's catching about 25, 30, but it's for a short stint. And me and him talk all the time about earning more money, because you know this is not going to last forever. You're not going to be catching 25, 30 for the rest of your career. Even in the league, NBA is like that. You're not catching 25, 30. That's just you're not catching 10, 20, 30 million. Guys go straight. I think the guy who was Tony Snell, he was in the league and he tried to get back in the league so he can get his pension. You know, you get offered the vet minimum. That's why it's called vet minimum, because you're not you've been a vet, you've been in the game for a while. We'll give you an M. We'll give you $1 million. We ain't gonna give you no 5, 6, 7. We ain't gonna give you 20, 15. You could have been. I think Russell Westbrook had got offered one time the vet minimum. Russell Westbrook, Hall of Famer. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I believe I saw one time. But that happens in a lot of cases for a lot of athletes. You're not going to be able to earn that type of money all the time. So you got to maximize what you do with the money when you get it. When you're getting that big bag, you must know what you're going to do with it. When you get it, I'm up now, let me hit the store, one of my OGs, when I was younger, I was 24, 25, I think it was. He was like 31, 32. He was like, man, I went to Japan. I was playing in the top league. I was getting paid, I think for the season, he got 150K. Before the next season, he was down to 25K. From the 150 he made 150 in the summer. In the season. I think the season made about 6 months. So by the time the next so he had about 6 months in between, probably played somewhere else. I don't know the situation, I can't remember. Maybe it's season 6, 7. No, matter of fact, Japan is 9 months. Japan is 9 months. Guaranteed. That's what I'm trying to get to Japan. By the time he got back to the season, he said he was down to 100. He was down to 25,000. Where does $125,000 go in 3 months? When he was with me, we were in Colombia. He was getting 6. He wasn't getting 150. He caught that for 2 months, for 2 years. Now he's over here. You gotta adjust. You're not. Oh, and that's what made him realize I'm not gonna be getting this type of money all the time. Cause he's like, yeah, bro. I sold a bunch of shoes. I make sure he got a plan. He's like, I never have more than 2 3 pairs of shoes. If I get another pair of shoes, I gotta let another one go because I had that type of money and I seen it go away and it disappeared because he didn't have any money management plan. He thought the money, we have a concept of thinking the money's gonna keep coming in at all times. And it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So what you do with that money matters. Moving on. Lifestyle inflation is a silent career killer. It doesn't feel like a problem until you realize you need the next contract to survive. That's a fact. Like I was saying, lifestyle. You're living off a style of life that you think that is sustainable and it's not. And this is like even from my experience, I before talking about anybody, I could talk about myself. And the real reason was I was living a lifestyle, even like not even making over 100,000 a season in a contract. I think I averaged made like when I was at making good money, making what 60, 70 a year accumulated between season and season. You know, it was about 60, 70 a year. As I said before on one of my previous lives, 60, 70 a year, let's say 70K in a year accumulate. That's probably like 2 seasons. You start one season, goes into the next year, you take a break, and then you got another, you start the next season. So you accumulate the whole year, you probably make 65 to 70. It's different for overseas basketball players because I always say you could cut out about $2,000 worth because in that time, I don't have rent, I don't have light, cable. All I really had was phone bill. This is when I didn't have kids or a family and I was married. Before all that, when I'm living on my own, starting, that's why it's so important how you start because life gonna start life and you start getting kids and other things and then it's more things to worry about, not even worry about, just more things that accumulate that you have to take care of. But before that, you take away housing, you take away rent, car note. When you get a car, whip, all these things start adding up. Lifestyle inflation. Parkinson's law. As you make more, your expenses go up. More things you have to pay for. The more you make, the more things you have to pay for. Lifestyle inflation. The real rich players are the quiet ones. The players with the least flash often have the most peace because they're building wealth, not image. I had an OG when I was like 28. We played in Thailand together. And he was like, man, I'm just on my last end of my career. I'm just still in the check. And he was getting about $10,000 a month. We was in Thailand. That's about 3 months. So he was making about 30,000. He made like 30,000 within that little time, which is really good. 10K a month. He was like, I'm just stealing money. And he was like, I take my money. I got a friend that does real estate. I give him the money because people in real estate need hard cash. I got I think at this time, this was, what are we in, 2026? So I was 28. So, 36, what was that, 6 years ago? If I'm 36 now, I'm 8 years ago. Goodness gracious. I've been in the game. 8 years ago. So he was like, man, I got an old car. It was probably like a 2005 Jeep. He said he lived in like a small island country or a small island somewhere in Asia. If you know Asia, you know how cheap it is. If you've been in Asia, you know how cheap it is. Thailand, even China. These countries are so cheap. America has people so messed up on the price of living. I know there's other countries. Uruguay, I don't know why. It's just so expensive out here. But everywhere, it's like the lifestyle, especially in Asia. Oh my God, I want to go to Asia and live in Asia. I be seeing all the time on my timeline people living in Asia and they living in Thailand, and I know exactly what they feel because I lived in Thailand, and it is mad cheap. He living in some small country. He done invested his money with his homeboy this whole time, just stacking cash. He said, I got an old car, bro. I just when it messed up, I just replaced the transmission. I don't need like I don't need to have a what I need it for. I'm overseas 90% of the time. I just go home, see my family for a little bit, and then I'm back overseas. Stacking bread, not flashing. He just you look at him, you think first time I ain't gonna lie. First time I ever saw him, we was in China. He was playing in a wild ball tournament, and I said, "This guy's a scrub." Just based on just his appearance, I judged the book by his cover. Scrub. I said, "This guy is a scrub. Gotta be a scrub. The way he look, he has to be a scrub. He move funny. He's tall. He's lanky. Look weird." One of my closest good friends because we ended up being in Thailand together, and that was the guy I kicked it with the most every single day. Every single day, and that all through our conversations, that was one of the things that stuck with me. That he invested his money, that he wasn't worried about the lifestyle he was doing at the crib because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. Your biggest expense isn't money, it's bad decisions. Phew! A bad car deal, a rushed apartment, bad relationships, or a friend you keep funding can cost more than you can handle. I had a homeboy that I came out of college with. This guy used to ask me for money all the time. When I say ask me for money all the time, he used to ask me for money all the time. And he was like, it got to the point where he didn't even care to ask. He was just like, "Hey, I need $100," and he would just say, "Send it here." I wouldn't even say, "Yeah, I can do it." He just, "I got $100. I need $100. Send it here." Talk about entitlement. Talk about, bro, what are you talking about? And I guess he felt like that because I went and stayed at his crib before I went overseas, and his pops and people looked out for me, and I appreciated that. And for a minute, I was sending him some bread. I got bread. I was doing good. I played good one season, won a championship, shoot him a couple like 100 or two throughout the summer. You know what I'm saying? I went to another team, balling. My check increased. I dang near doubled my check. I went from like 2,000 to making like 5 bands the next season because I played so well. I had cash coming in, but I was still living. He was like, "Hey, I need," you know what I mean? And that got me thinking, like, I can't keep funding this dude. I hit him up like, "Bro, what's going on? What you got going on in your life?" Because you're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "You keep asking me for bread every single day. Like, you got to work too. I can't stack bread if I keep sending you bread. It adds up. That 100 every now and then, that adds up because it's taking away what you need to do." And you know what? That's just, especially with us black people, we like to, we have a what's it called? It's something like a complex, like a guilt complex to help and give out people money. I did a test one time. I took this test. It was like what kind of test it was? Like an identity test. And it kind of tells you what type of person you are. And I'm the type of person that is overly helpful, extremely overly helpful, that tries to get everything done, that tries to take care of everything, pretty much like the leadership type situation, the driver of things. I get things like the visionary of things, and I want to help everybody and get things like help. And it was like, I talked to a guy who can I talked to someone who was a person that can decipher and tells you what type of person you are and what type of things you need to avoid. And the biggest thing, he said, your new word is no. No. And guess what? You don't need an explanation for the word no. Just no. because your personality type is to always be overly helpful, give this, give that, be a helping hand, da da da. You got to learn to say no, because if you do not handle that, you will never grow, because every time you're trying to grow and increase, you're going to be they're going to be pulling you down because you're taking away from your own resources. You can't build without resources. And if you don't have resources, you can never get ahead to be able to come back to help, because you're constantly giving away. It's just the type of heart that you have. And I had to cut him out. And that's that's certain things that it be bad decisions, people that you're trying to fund and help. Getting a car. I got an old 2009 Ford Fusion. Old boy. And I said, man, I need a new whip. And I'm holding off and holding off, because it's like I spent 9-10 months out of the country. It gets me from point A to point B. I do my little maintenance on it when it needs it. Got to fix the tail lights, got to fix the windshield. The doorknobs is jacked up. Got one speaker working. I bought some extra speakers just to ride and style. Ride and so just hear some music. At least. But I'm not going to get a new car because I'm so focused on building assets now. Like it's so important to me to build assets now while I'm hooping. I take over a third of my check and I put it into assets. I put it into stocks. I put it into assets because, I need that. I need it into that. I don't care about the car I drive right now. It works. It runs. It gets me from back home and back to church. I'm good. What more do I need right now? I need to stack bread and invest, because this is the time to build that time and build that bread. Once you build up 4, 5, 6, 7 years, once I done retire, I'm gonna have all the money I need to get me a new whip. I don't need to front and flaunt. I've been playing basketball for 12 years. What do I need to stunt for? What do I need to prove? Prove it by your game. Prove it by your game. I don't need to prove it by the car I drive. My game proves everything. I gain respect from my peers, from my game. Now it's time for me to respect myself and respect my bank account and respect the legacy and the life that I'm trying to build. And it's not by making bad decisions by, I need a new car right now. Let me go get, now I am going to go get my Jaguar now. Jaguar SVR F-Pace. Whew. There's a lot that comes with it. A lot of maintenance that comes with it. However, I want to be prepared. I already looked up what's the maintenance. What are the normal issues? What does it cost for the upkeep normally for a year for this? I'm looking up all these things to prepare. I'm not just jumping in and just say I'm gonna get this new car and that's it. How often do you need to change the oil? What is the average yearly expenses you need to pay? How long does this car run? And that I need. These are the things that you need to do. Let's start thinking clearly. Let's start actually prepping our minds for things that's going to happen, and not make bad decisions. Most athletes pay success tax. Family, friends, and people from the past are treating you like a bank. Like I just said, bro thought I was a bank. He thought I was his bank. Just go to the ATM. Hey, send me some bread. Hey, cuz, can you help me out, man? The biggest one right now for me that it bothers me, because I want to help him, but I'm not going to put myself at a disadvantage to help him. And it's my uncle. I love him to death. He just hit me up. Hey, man, I need some bread. Hey, man, I can't do it. No. My account comes first. My investments comes first. My daughter's account comes first, or first, second, third. These are all what's important. I have a specific amount of money, a part of my money plan, my game plan, that I invest. This is the money plan that I have, and whatever left that I have right here, this is what I will use to help others. Other than that, if I don't have it, I can't get it to you. I'm sorry. I love you, But I can't put myself at a disadvantage for you. You have your life. I'm trying to build mine. I've made a lot of decisions that didn't allow me to be able to help you more. That's why I'm trying to do it now, but I've done that already. Giving out and helping others and taking away from myself, and now I wasn't able to. Now I can't help you now because I didn't do what I was supposed to do in the first place. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. That's why you're looking to me to help you now. Trust and believe I'm working to get to a point where I can help you and help the family and change the family and put us in a better position. But I can't do that now by taking away from what I got going on in order to help you. I understand your situation. You need it dire and you need it and you need help in certain situations. Immigration things, we're from the islands, I'm Haitian. You know, you're trying to get your paperwork. I understand. You got to pay off lawyers. I understand. Trust me, it hurts my heart that I can't help you, but it's gonna hurt more. That it's going to hurt me more, and it's going to hurt the family more if I don't say no to you now. These are decisions that we must make. It is decisions that we have to really understand that it's like the butterfly effect. One decision that you make affects everything, everyone. And sometimes that decision to just say, no, I can't do it. Sorry. It is what it is. Your money can disappear without you spending it. Currency exchange, inflation, bank fees, hidden charges. Bad tax planning can drain you even if you're disciplined. You got to understand that inflation, everyone should understand, like, the best way the best example I can always say is chips are $5 a bag now. There's going to be a time when chips going to be $10 a bag. Chips are going to get to $10 a bag. That's inflation. That's ludicrous. That's ludicrous. Chips are going to be $10 a bag. Mark my words. Chips are going to be $10 a bag. That's inflation. I listen to a podcast on Market Mondays, financial podcast. Check them out. I listen to them all the time. Great guys. Ian, Rashad. I went to the Invest Fest, one of the biggest money events of black, and it's black excellence. I will say that black excellence is a real thing. One of the biggest money expos in our people. You know what I mean? And they speak a lot. They said a quote one time on inflation. Inflation increased by 50% from 2008 to in the last 15 years, inflation has increased over 50%. What's going to happen in the next 15 years? I mean, its prices have went up 50%. The dollar is dropping so much. Prices have went up over 50%. What's going to happen in the next 15? What's going to happen in the next 15? It's the tax that you don't even see, that you're not even being aware of. You just, things are expensive. And I knew this. I was, as I am now being an entrepreneur, as I'm now like understanding economics, understanding finances, you start to see life different because you start to pay attention to what people say and how things move. You start to look for ideas and things in everyday life. You try to find in the little crevices of life problem situations that you can take advantage of. Not even take advantage of, that you can, basically take advantage of. You see problems that you can like, that's an issue that needs to be handled. This is a common problem. I think, I don't know what book I read. It was an investment book of a guy who made one of the biggest trades ever. And it was against, don't quote me. It was against the pound, the pound or some currency. He bet against the currency that it was going to crash because he went to go buy a hot dog and the price of the hot dog was so high. So he's like, this guy is just trying to rip me off. Went to the next one, same price. Go to another one, same price. So he just took out a notebook and started writing down the prices of everything compared to what it was in his country that was in this country, and seeing the discrepancy. Seeing, this is what I mean by paying attention to everyday life situations. And he was like, this currency is finna crash. It's inevitable for it to crash. And he bet against it and made like 100 million. Oh, it was like one of the biggest trades ever. He made like it must have been, I don't want to say it was like $1 billion. It was like 500. It was so astronomical to trade that they had the bankers had to ask him to stop. Please cancel your trade, please, because you're killing the dollar. It was so big that they had to ask him to please close his trade. He took advantage because he paid attention of things that's going on in life. And that's one thing when I see when I went back to America, one common thing everybody kept saying, man, it's so expensive. I went into a shop. The guy who owned the shop was like, man, everything's so expensive. He said he lived in the shop to save money. And he's complaining. He lived in the shop. And he was complaining about how things were so expensive. And that just, bing. I'm like, what's really going on here? What's really going on? And that's what I understand. That's what we must understand. Like, there are ways that your money is disappearing. That's why it's so important to invest. So important to put your money in assets that grow over time. That's why we talk about finances all the time. What are you investing in? What are you putting your money in that's going to gain over time? Because inflation, every single country deals with inflation, some at a higher rate. Everybody's dealing with it because they don't understand, hey, you have to put your money into assets that gain over time so you can beat the inflation. That you have to beat the inflation. Overseas money hits different. Athletes overseas face unique money traps, such as getting paid late. They late with my payment right now. I can't stand the way they do the money payment here. I got here on the 1st. Normally, you get whenever date that you arrive, that's the date that you get paid. I arrived on the 1st. Normally, my pay date is 30 days, a month. You get paid on. Oh, we don't pay till the 1st through the 10th. 1st through the 10th. And it's always on the 10th. My bills come way before that. What work that you work with that says, hey, or what job that you work at that says, hey, we're going to pay you a week and a half after the month is over with? You'd be like, what are you talking about? I got rent, I got food, I got to eat, I got car insurance, I got kids, and you're going to pay me a week and a half late? Every time? I got bills, I got credit card bills, I got subscriptions, I got all these things I got to pay for, and I'm going to get paid a week and a half late every single time? Money trap. What you going to do? Leave your job? You need the money. The money's good, but you're going to get paid a week and a half late. My bills don't come on weekend. They don't say, okay, we can wait a week and a half. They want it then. Late payment means late fees, and you're going to get taxed more, and they're going to cut it off. Contracts not being honored. I posted a reel today on my Instagram page about my teammate who got into a situation with the team, and they didn't pay him he had worked half the month. They ain't paid for it. They also didn't pay for his flight back. Unstable currencies. I was in Argentina. It's crazy. I was in Argentina. I remember one of the players that we had changed the player and a new player came in, and he was just like, what's the currency rate? And I told him the currency rate. I can't remember what it was at the time. He was just flabbergasted. He was just amazed. Like, what are you talking about? How high is it? Who's the president? Didn't understand it. It was probably like the dollar for $100. The currency rate was like you get 300 pesos. He was like three. No, it was like 250 pesos for every $100. He was like 250. What? What? And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, why is that such a big deal? And he was just like, that's crazy. By the end of the season, the money the for $100, it was 500 pesos. Now, if you're a local player, that decreases the amount of money that you have because they don't get paid in dollars. They get paid in pesos. So if the price going up, that means your value is going down. So if you're getting paid $1,000 in pesos, and that's what 2,500, and the price goes up to 5,000, it's like you're getting $500 worth. It's cutting into your price. It cuts into your price. Weird money traps. You can make more investing than planned. Not instantly, but long term. A disciplined investor can out earn their entire playing career. I've earned more money. And what I mean by earned, you could tell by what you got by just most people just look at your bank account. Look at your assets. What do you have? What do you have? Do an audit of what you have in your account. What are your assets that you have? Car, not an asset. Liability. In America, car is a liability. Depreciating asset. The minute you drive it off the lot, the value immediately drops about 10,000. Immediately. You have a house or do you rent? Liability. You're paying money into something that you don't own. Liability. Big time liability. What else you have? I had to look at myself like, dang, I don't really have no assets. None. 9 years, $100 in my pocket. Old car. Depreciating asset. No, nothing. Since then, I have 2 pieces of land, working on my 3rd asset. And I have a stock portfolio with me and my daughter. She has over $10,000 invested, $12,000 invested. This is Hello Zero. I don't know how to say your name. She has over $10,000 invested. You know why? Because I changed the way I thought about money and I started putting it into assets. Started putting my money into assets that grew over time. I have a stock portfolio. I ain't gonna disclose my amount. I don't really care to, but I heard it's not a good idea to disclose how much you got. However, I'm close to 6 figures. This year I will hit 6 figures invested. This year I will hit 6 figures invested. Okay, bro. This year I will hit 6 figures invested into my account. And that happened within the last 3 years. I guarantee, probably before the half of the year, I'll have 6 figures invested. That's because I understand you need to put your money into assets. And if you understand that, it will grow faster than. I told that to my team. I said, your money's going to work harder than you ever can. Your money's going to work harder than you ever can. I don't care how much you play, how much you earn in basketball. Your money's going to work harder than you ever can because it will never stop. If you try to do it, if you try to work on things, it's not going to matter. You have to put your money into things that's going to grow faster and better than you can ever do it. The biggest wealth gap is financial literacy. Dang. 2 players can earn the same salary. One retires broke. One retires free. The difference is usually not in talent. It's knowledge and discipline. Like I said, I was talking to my teammate today. So perfect. End on this one. The biggest wealth gap is financial literacy. I told him today, hey, bro, you need to understand your game plan. and you need to understand your finances. That's another reel I put up today. I increase your money consciousness. Increase the information that you put into your mind about money. You have to start increasing your money consciousness. You have to read, you have to watch YouTube videos, you have to watch podcasts, you have to actually do things to increase your money consciousness. I'm from Florida, bro. You have to do things to increase your money consciousness. You have to get financial literacy. You must read. If you want to hide money from a black person, put it in a book. You must learn to read and study and go to classes, take courses, do things to increase the consciousness of money. I tell my homeboy, hey, I'm finna join a group. I remember telling him this 3 years ago. Hey, man, I'm finna get inside this group. It costs $2,500. I'm gonna get in there. He was like, what? You finna pay $2,500 to get in the group? Yep. You know what the group was by the time I got into it? Because of inflation. Prices always go up. You know how much it was by the time I got in? $10,000. $10,000 to get into the group. I was ready to pay it. I drop it down. I finally had the bread. God bless me. Dude put it on discount for $5,000, half the price. Bought it on the spot. All I care about is gaining information. All I care about is how can I increase my financial literacy. This person has information that can get to increase my consciousness and wealth consciousness and increase my mind to understanding wealth at a higher level. I will do anything to increase my level of consciousness when it comes to wealth. I don't care what it takes. I don't care how much it costs. It's going to be minuscule for what comes after that, for what I'm gained from that. Too many times people look, oh, I won't do that. I ain't finna pay for no book. I ain't finna pay for no course. I ain't finna go to no event, no wealth event. I'm not finna pay for flight and do all that. You do what you gotta do. You do what you want. Two people. There's two different lanes. You can. I know players and friends who earn way more money than me in my career, and I'm slowly but surely outpacing them because the information I have in my brain that I've put into my brain it's impossible that I don't surpass them. It's just a law of life. The more you pour, I think it's Benjamin Franklin who said it, the more you pour into your mind, the more your pockets overflow. Maybe I said that wrong, but the more you put into your mind, the more wealth you will have. Hands down, it's financial literacy. It's time for us, and when I say us, I'm speaking to us black people, us black athletes. It's time for us to change that. It's time for us to say, you know what? It's time to get some financial. Let's change the narrative. Let's change the narrative. Yes, you get hoes. Yes, you are a hooper. You're a baller. Hey, it's time to start increasing your wealth consciousness. It's time to start getting some financial literacy. It's time to start. Yes, you are the big dog. You were playing overseas. Everybody look up to you. Everybody seeing you. You know, you might have a nice whip and all that. Who cares if you can't help the next man? If you can't give him no value of what to really do. I don't remember one person coming up in the game telling me, hey, bro, put your money right here. Then do this, then do that, then do this. Not one. Not one. I don't know if they knew or not. But what I know for sure, even like I said, my homeboy, that's what he did, and I just picked up on it, but he didn't give me the blueprint. He was able to invest his money because he was making so much, and he had a friend that had financial literacy, And he put him on because he had the adequate funds. But he didn't have the game plan, money plan to tell me, hey, bro, this is what you need to do. Take your money, put it here first. Then go do this to earn extra money and then put it here and then do this. That way, when you're done, you already have this established. You already have that established. Go here, learn this, take this right here, use that money, take a piece of that, put it here and put it here. A whole strategic plan. Not one. It's time. The biggest difference in the wealth gap is financial literacy. That's all I got for this live today, man. I appreciate it. If you tuned in, I appreciate it. Listen, greatness is a habit, not a right. It's time for us to increase our financial literacy, our wealth consciousness, and we're going to get there one step at a time by taking the steps, believing it, trusting the game plan. That's all I got, man. See you guys next time. I'm out.